Wearing in the Waring Plaza, Palm Desert.
Entravision Communications is an equal opportunity employer and is dedicated to provide broad outreach regarding job vacancies. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified individuals to all of our stations, including KMIR NBC and KPSC MyTV. Organizations who wish to receive information regarding employment opportunities should email NBC Palm Springs at jobs@nbcpalmsprings.com.
Coming up tomorrow on NBC Palm Springs Today, we talk about the online summer classes of acting, dancing, and more in the Green Room Theater just before jumping on the stage. Tomorrow morning beginning at 5 a.m. on NBC Palm Springs Today. Sarah Sanchez, weeknights on NBC Palm Springs. This is NBC Palm Springs.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, do you make cakes for a living?
I'm a cake decorator, not an engineer.
If you're a decorator, then I suggest that what you do is make single-layer cakes and take that thing and go like this and just decorate them.
Well, the
and
cake
if you can't make tiered layer cakes because you don't know how to do it, then don't do it. Because you can spoil somebody's very special day by getting yourself involved with doing something that you have no expertise at. Because if what you are is a cake decorator, decorate them. Don't install them. That's not what you do for $450. If I wanted a cake decorated with to the bride and groom, I fill up a thing and I go like this and we're done. She wanted an extravagant wedding cake for which she paid $450. You're going to give it back to her. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I have a countersuit as well.
We're done. We're done.
Isaiah, excuse you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Miss Richardson was not happy with the quality of the work.
A homeowner builds a case against a contractor.
He said nasty things about you.
Absolutely.
Next Judge Judy.
The cake failed because of the stuff that she gave me to put on there.
She did not properly structure the tiers and make them right to hold my cake.
I told her that it's not going to work. She wanted to do it anyway.
Judge Judy saying that she should refund my money for my cake. That's all I asked.
This is NBC Palm Springs.
Our positivity rate has increased, and the state has engaged with us and talked to us.
Riverside County lands on the state's coronavirus watch list, but what does that actually mean? We're taking a look tonight. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Gino Lamont. For the second time in a week, the Supreme Court rules against the Trump administration. We'll have more on that decision for Dreamers in a moment. Meanwhile, the president says the coronavirus is, quote, dying out, while Governor Newsom mandates masks required across the state, and Riverside County breaks a record for the most cases reported in one day. In Atlanta, breaking news tonight is the officer charged with the murder and the shooting of Rayshard Brooks is now in police custody. But we'll start tonight's broadcast with the Supreme Court news.
The Supreme Court blocks President Trump from ending legal protections for the Dreamer program. DACA has allowed nearly 800,000 young immigrants to stay in the U.S. The president tried to end it, calling it illegal. The Supreme Court rules 5-4, saying the federal government failed to give an adequate justification for ending DACA, which leaves the door open for the president to try again.
As the new DACA decision is announced, Coachella Valley Dreamers celebrate what feels like a personal victory at Todek Legal Center. Our Regina Ureta is live in Coachella. Tell us more about that. Regina, good evening.
Hey, Gino. I'm actually here at the Todek Legal Center here in the city of Coachella. And I'm telling you, not only can you feel the excitement, but you can actually hear it. I'm going to turn around here and so you guys can hear your sound. We've got confetti here, we've got chants, we've got several dreamers here. They're obviously in their 20s, ranging from 18 to 20 years. So young dreamers who have been waiting for this moment. They actually started here at 3 3 p.m., dozens of dreamers from the Coachella Valley chanting victory over the Supreme Court ruling. But prior to this joyous event, I was actually able to talk to DACA recipients who not only shared the triumph, but also the fearful anticipation leading up to the decision.
I got chills, then I felt like I wanted to cry, then happiness.
With cheers and celebratory victory chants, DACA recipients rejoice after knowing their opportunities to reach the American dream won't be ripped away from them just yet.
At 16 years old, I thought I would never see that day.
But the wait for this decision was mentally exhausting as the fear of possible deportation kicked in once the Trump administration attempted to terminate DACA.
Mentally, I was thinking about it, how my life was going to be in Mexico with my daughter.
Feliciana and Maria, both local DACA recipients from the East Valley, moved to the U.S. at a young age from Mexico, making the States the only home they know. They say living undocumented before DACA wasn't easy.
Mom became a single mother, so she was very afraid for my sister and I. We wanted to go into the medical field, both of us, and she thought that we wouldn't have been able to go into that career.
With a Dreamers program in place, they are able to work legally and get an education, something they say is still out of reach for many who can't afford it.
Almost $500.
They consider themselves lucky because with DACA still in place, they have an opportunity to improve their lives and the people they serve. Guys, yes, one thing is to start the DACA process and actually get that going, it's not cheap. So I do want to add that here at the TODEC, they're still very excited, but I just want to add that here at the TODEC Legal Center, they are offering financial help. In Coachella, Regina Yurita, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, thank you, Regina. President Trump says on Twitter, quote, "Do you get the impression that the Supreme Court doesn't like me?" Adding the court's decision were, quote, "horrible and politically charged," and he would be seeking legal action.
Joining us now is immigration lawyer Megan Beeman Jacinto. Megan, tell me about today's decision by the Supreme Court. Were you surprised by the ruling?
We were a bit surprised, to be honest, but very excited that the Supreme Court has uplifted and upheld the decisions of many other federal courts, essentially deciding that the way in which the Trump administration sought to cancel the DACA program was improper and was arbitrary and capricious in a way that damaged people that are eligible for and that already are in the DACA status.
Right. You've got a 5-4 conservative court right now. So did Judge Roberts surprise you by taking the other side and writing the majority opinion?
Well, look, what I think we've seen in a number of recent Supreme Court decisions is that, knowing that we do have a conservative majority, we're still seeing that there's a universal recognition of people's civil rights and people's human rights. And so, Justice Roberts has tended to move that way in the past. And so the fact that it was him that joined the other 4 liberal justices, in that sense, it was not a surprise.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. The DREAM Act was an executive order by President Obama. Can it not be rescinded by a simple executive order by President Trump?
Not by a simple executive order. That's what we're seeing through these court decisions. The DACA program was created by an executive order of President Obama, but it created a program, and thousands of individuals and probably even more family members have now sort of reimagined their lives or begun their lives dependent on the benefits and the rights that were afforded under that program. So what the courts have universally held, and now what we've seen the Supreme Court agree with, is that that program, even though it began by an executive order, cannot simply be taken away. If it is to be taken away, the court is requiring much more justification than simply a desire to take it away. There has to be some other type of justification given by the Trump administration in order to do that.
All right, immigration lawyer Megan Beeman-Hosento, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's send things over now to Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett. He has a look at our forecast. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Sarah. Things pretty easy here in the Weather Center today. We continue to be the beneficiaries of some northwesterly flow. You may have noticed that today. Temperatures right where they should be this time of year. In fact, we were 1 degree below average at Palm Springs International, and the air continues to stay relatively humid considering that we're in a desert in Southern California and summer starts on Saturday. Here's what's going on. Another low pressure system punching into the Pacific Northwest. It seems like they've just been nonstop this spring, but we've got that flow coming down the coast here. It is picking up the winds this afternoon. We got some northwesterly winds coming in sustained about 17 to 20 at the airport right now. Gusts getting up to about 25, even 30 in our more wind prone areas. And then as the atmosphere gets a chance to settle tonight, all of that will settle along with it. Currently 101 at Palm Springs International, and relative humidity again sitting up at 17%. That's about 3 times what it was this time last week. You know it can't last though. Next 3 days are brought to you by Comfort Air, and we will see some warming as we go into Father's Day weekend. First day of summer is on Saturday. I've got all the details in your 7-day forecast coming up.
The coronavirus death toll in the United States has now cleared 117,000 and counting. And some states are seeing record numbers of new cases. But according to President Trump, COVID-19 is, quote, dying out. During an interview with Gray Television, he says he's not worried about the upcoming rally in Oklahoma because the number of new cases is what he calls very minuscule, despite data showing the exact opposite.
If you look, the numbers are very minuscule compared to what it was. It's dying out.
Nearly 20,000 people are expected at the rally tomorrow. Actually, on Saturday, face masks are optional for that rally.
Let's take a look at our local COVID-19 numbers. 516 new cases were reported countywide. That's the highest number of new cases reported in a single day in Riverside County since the beginning of the pandemic. 217 of the new cases are here from the Coachella Valley. 9 new deaths were also reported in the county. Now, 8 of those 9 deaths were from the Coachella Valley. Indio continues to have the most cases with 894. Palm Desert has the most deaths with 29.
The county's numbers continue to climb since the accelerated reopening. We are now on the state's watch list. So how are local hospitals faring and what can be done to slow down this spread? Kitty Alvarado has a closer look.
Accelerated reopening in Riverside County is also accelerating COVID-19 numbers. The county is now on the state's watch list.
Our positivity rate has increased, and the state has engaged with us and talked to us about that. We believe that some of the reason for that is a result of larger outbreaks that we've seen at the state prison in Chuckwalla.
While positive cases fluctuate, sometimes exceeding the 8% threshold for accelerated reopening, the county says the state is looking at another number, hospital capacity.
We have not reached capacity in our hospitals.
But hospitalizations are up. Desert Regional Medical Center and JFK Memorial are reporting higher rates since the May 1st reopening. Dr. Eutham Contaxis, the head of emergency medicine at Eisenhower Health, says they're seeing an uptick too.
It's gone up from about 18 to 20 patients to about 47 patients, maybe 50 now. We're seeing, though, less patients in the ICU.
He says they've learned a lot about coronavirus in the last few months, and treatments are getting better, but there's still a lot of unknowns.
Some people have absolutely no symptoms, and some people have these really horrific reactions to the virus. And so I think as a caregiver, we look at that and say, wow.
He says we can avoid getting the virus and reverse the trend by hand washing, physical distancing, and following the new state's mask requirement.
Not only to protect yourself, but to protect others. And it also, I think, gives us a sense of community spirit where we're all trying to take care of each other.
Kitty Alvarado, NBC Palm Springs.
Millions of Americans are still relying on unemployment to make ends meet. The Department of Labor reports another 1.5 million workers filed first-time jobless benefits last week across America. That brings the total number of 45 million people filing for unemployment since mid-March.
More businesses, including tattoo parlors, are gearing up to reopen tomorrow. Our Nico Payne visited a local tattoo shop that says they're booking up quickly, so he couldn't get a spot. Nico, what'd you find out?
Yes, as businesses continue into accelerated phase 2, more tattoo shops, more businesses, including tattoo parlors rather, will begin reopening tomorrow. We got an inside look at a local shop.
All right, coming up after the break, the federal authorities investigate the death of Robert Fuller, the Palmdale man found hanging from a tree. Fuller's family says they're still grieving another loss now.
And as more cases mount against officers across the country, we look at qualified immunity. We'll explore what it means and how local leaders feel about it. That's next.
Feel like getting back out there? Nissan is ready to help you with a bold, award-winning lineup. Kick off summer with no payments for 3 months. Plus, we'll cover your payments for up to 2 more months. Or get 0% financing on 13 models for up to 84 months. Shop at home at nissanusa.com.
I can't wait. Tonight is a play.
I am a little nervous.
Don't be. You're so talented.
Thanks for the encouragement.
My dad was nervous about going solar, so he signed up with Hot Purple Energy.
It looks great.
My parents said the installation crew was awesome and the price was amazing. My dad says drama should never be a part of the solar process. Think solar.
Think purple.
Hot Purple Energy.
Wrinkles got you down? Zap it. Carrying some extra weight on your tummy? Zap it. Want to get rid of age spots? Zap it. I'm Dr. Tim Joshin, and here at the Laser Center at Contour Dermatology, we can zap your problems away. Get rid of unsightly marks, clear away unwanted hair, even reshape your body. We have the laser for you. Non-invasive treatments with dramatic results. Call Contour Dermatology today at 760-423-4000. We'll guide you to the choice that's perfect for you.
Desert Alarm is celebrating over 25 years in business, and we want to thank our Coachella Valley customers for placing their security and safety in our hands. Hello, my name is Chris Medane. Our commitment to you is to keep working tirelessly to provide you, your family, or your business with the most advanced security innovations available on the market today. Your choice for security matters. Choose the number 1. Choose local. Choose Desert Alarm. Call 322-1562. Specials are going on now.
The I-10 Auto Mall is here for you and open for business. The Summer Sell-a-thon is on now. Huge summer discounts on all of the best brands. Thousands of vehicles to choose from, and they're all in one location. Save thousands of dollars during the I-10 Auto Mall Summer Sell-a-thon on now. And with deferred payment options, you'll save even more. Or shop online at i10automall.com and we'll deliver straight to your door. The Summer Sell-a-thon at the I-10 Auto Mall is going on now.
You can get it all at the I-10 Auto Mall.
Now to another major decision from the Supreme Court. This one rather timely. The Supreme Court says it will not hear cases involving what's called qualified immunity. The legal doctrine makes it difficult to sue police for serious misconduct.
The Louisiana House panel also rejected a bill to limit qualified immunity, and now the decision is up to Congress with more reform bills that are on the way. Our Olivia Sandusky joins us now for local reaction to the doctrine, which is at best controversial. Olivia.
Gino, it is a topic that's been heavily scrutinized lately. I did speak with local attorneys and law enforcement, though, to see exactly what qualified immunity means and what lasting changes it could have.
Discussions of police reform continue across the country. One of the dividing issues, qualified immunity.
But taking away qualified immunity would make the streets of this country a whole lot less secure.
It's a really court-ordered law that says that police officers are not actually liable if they violate your rights, and it doesn't make any sense.
So what does the doctrine actually say?
It's used to assist law enforcement. It basically says that if they are acting within the scope of their duty, if they are acting in good faith, and if they are not acting outside of what would be obvious illegal or unconstitutional actions, then they are immune from civil suit.
Greenberg also says revoking qualified immunity would make suing officers a more readily available tool. And while Coachella Valley leaders address policing concerns,
there was
a sentiment from the community that there is not enough accountability for police misconduct.
Local departments say they understand the recent push to evaluate the doctrine.
The voice of the public is accountability, responsibility for actions that just are not right. Things that have happened are just not right. And I think for the Valley law enforcement, I think it's a clear word. And a unity of what's being asked by the people now is what those actions were not right, and are they being addressed?
And while the House and Senate have created their own police reform bills, one key difference is that the House bill does include a revision to qualified immunity, while the Senate bill does not. Olivia Sandusky, NBC Palm Springs.
Brother of a hanging death victim who made national headlines has apparently been killed in a deputy-involved shooting. According to a family attorney, Teron Boone is the half-brother of Robert Fuller. They say Boone died during a shooting with Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies. A woman in the car was also shot, but she's at the hospital. There was also a little girl in the car who was not injured.
They followed the suspect for a while, and then they attempted to do a traffic stop on the suspect. When the suspect stopped his vehicle, he opened the door and began shooting at the deputies, and a deputy-involved shooting occurred.
Robert Fuller was found hanging from a tree near Palmdale City Hall on June 10th. His death was ruled a suicide, but his family is calling for an independent investigation. Officials say Fuller's brother was wanted for several charges in an attempt to get information about his brother's death.
The former Atlanta police officer who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks turned himself in today. Garrett Rolfe faces felony murder and 10 other charges. Rolfe shot Brooks in the back as he was fleeing a Wendy's parking lot. Prosecutors say Rolfe did not provide medical attention for more than 2 minutes after he kicked Brooks after he'd been shot. Officer Brosnan also turned himself in today, but he was quickly out on bond. He's facing assault charges.
When we come back, Mike has a full look at our forecast. The weekend's coming up quick, Mike.
Sarah, I got a gorgeous live look courtesy of our camera right now pointing towards the mouth of the Banning Pass. There was some dense fog in there in the early morning hours, tracking more of that on Friday, but we are about to become much warmer and much drier. I've got all the details and your full forecast when we come back.
What should you look for in a jeweler? It's integrity and value. In Leeds & Son, we have diamonds in all price ranges, for all budgets. Feel comfortable coming in and talking to our diamond experts. We're happy to give you advice. Leeds & Son, the Coachella Valley's diamond experts.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With special offers like 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Contact your Ford dealer or stop by today.
Some companies base their entire business off of high-pressure sales. That way of doing business is long gone. Customers are more educated today, and I feel they value honesty more than a sales pitch. With TMOS, our technicians are not incentivized to sell. They're incentivized to solve a problem. That's why hearing positive reviews and getting emails from customers that they're happy is the entire reason we're doing this. To learn more, call us today.
Sunshine on a cloudy day. You say what can make me feel this way, my girl.
Room for 7 and much, much more. The first ever GLB. Get 0% APR financing up to 36 months on most models and 90-day first payment deferral on any model.
At Del Taco, you get 15 items for $1 or less every day on the Del's Dollar Deals menu. 15 ways to crave, 15 ways to save, 15 ways to... Try Del's Dollar Deals menu with 15 different items for $1 or less every day. Only at Del Taco.
We have the best quality in every price category, whether it's a $300 watch or a $300,000 watch, or a $300 diamond or a $3 million diamond. It's always going to be the best. Leeds & Son on El Paseo.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Desert Vein and Vascular Institute.
Welcome back. Well, we left you with a gorgeous live look. We bring you back with another one. Take a look at this, your Agua Caliente Casino Cam. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and this one just nails it. Beautiful blue sky up above us. There is nothing happening in the atmosphere right now, but it is relatively cool and relatively moist. As I was mentioning earlier, we saw some of that fog, especially when you drove into the Banning Pass this morning. There's going to be more of that on Friday morning as well, but some changes moving in that will clear that out. In the big picture, here's what we're tracking, and actually this little wisp of clouds right there helps tell that story. We continue to see some flow behind that frontal boundary that passed a couple days ago, and what that's doing is keeping us in that sweet spot. Temperatures 1 degree below average today, and it looks like we get to keep that for a couple more days. After that, ridge of high pressure builds in, it's going to warm up, it's going to dry out. So this was the net result today, 102, 1 glorious degree below the 30-year average for today, which is 103. Record for today's date was just 3 years ago, 117. And in the overnights, we nailed it. 72 is the average, and that's exactly where we got to. We've pulled it back into double digits already at Palm Springs International. Some gorgeous 60s and 70s along the coast. They've been having some cloud and marine layer issues in the morning, but that cleared beautifully midday. 72 in LA and in Oceanside, that's nice. 102 in Phoenix, 104 in Havasu. Vegas, in the meantime, continues to stay in the mid-90s. They've got a little bit more of that influence from that low pressure system. It's still parked well off towards our north. Watches and warnings, look at that. Even all the red flag warnings that were in place across the Intermountain West have been allowed to expire. There's just a little bit of fire danger down towards the southern and southwest portion of Colorado and up towards Nevada as well. Some gale warnings from the Bay Area up north. Visibility will be an issue once again if you are planning on heading into Los Angeles in the early morning hours, especially if you make that cut towards Riverside on 60. You will encounter some patchy fog that will start after midnight tonight and will stay in place until about 8 o'clock on Friday morning. Visibility once again could be as low as a quarter of a mile. 91 in Desert Hot Springs right now, 102 in Coachella. That is quite a bit warmer than the Yucca Valley where it's 86 currently, 72 in Big Bear, and 76 up in Idlewild. Very efficient cooling tonight. Look at that. We'll break into the 70s just after midnight, and that sets us up beautifully for Friday. Low to mid 70s, 105 is where we'll bounce up to at 4 p.m. and those dew points will be slightly elevated. So what that means is once again, we'll see another day where relative humidity is about 15%. It gets drier next week. 105 in Palm Springs tomorrow, 106 in Indio, and your Comfort Air 7-day forecast shows the waning days of spring being the cool ones. Next week, we bounce up into that 109, 110 range, and it looks like we stay there for a good long while.
We're living in uncertain times, but as Californians, we'll get through this together. If your income has been reduced or you've lost your job or your health insurance due to the coronavirus crisis, Covered California is here. We can help you find the health insurance you need to protect you and your loved ones. And you may even get financial help to pay for your health insurance. So if you or someone you know is without coverage, visit coveredca.com to learn more or enroll today.
We've always put safety first. And we always will. For people. For the future. And there has never been a summer when it's mattered more. Wherever you go, summer safely. Get 0% APR financing for up to 5 years on select models and exclusive lease offers.
Can you believe this weather? Let's check in with Paul from Comfort Air to tell us how we can deal with this heat and stay comfortable.
Thanks, Carol. And your 7-day forecast, hot, hot, and hot. So you'll want to stay cool with the new Lennox XE25. Quiet, efficient, and affordable. We have the best prices and warranties in the Coachella Valley. I personally guarantee it. You'll never have to worry about your family's comfort again. Back to you, Carol.
Call Comfort Air today and see why they're #1 for a reason.
Are you or a loved one concerned you may have prostate cancer? If so, talk to us first before you undergo any biopsy or treatment procedure. Invasive or aggressive procedures may not be the most effective solution and can often lead to serious side effects like incontinence or erectile dysfunction, pain, bleeding, heart attack, or stroke. Let our experienced state-of-the-art technologies preserve your greatest quality of life.
I'm Dr. David Schreiber. Call Desert Prostate Specialist in Rancho Mirage today at 760-536-4400 to learn more about your treatment options.
Attention! For our clients' security and safety, we offer private, highly sanitized offices for our clients to sit with our trained professional buyers. Be safe.
Whatever your reasons are, sell it for more to PMR.
This portion of the news is brought to you by La Quinta Brewery. Taste the sunshine.
Sad news today is the last surviving sibling of JFK has passed away. Jean Kennedy Smith died at her home in Manhattan. She was a former ambassador to Ireland, playing a role in Northern Ireland peace process. In 2011, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama. Jean Kennedy Smith was 92 years old. We'll be right back.
Anthony is her biological father. If we don't tell her now, we become a part of the lie.
What's happening?
There's no easy way to say this.
Council of Dads, new tonight on NBC.
Where are the paintings that I was promised? Steal priceless works of art at the behest of a maniac.
I can't believe we're breaking in.
We don't have a choice. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of our faith.
Dinner with the Drakes tonight? Alexa, ask Buick to start my Encore GX. Four fillets.
You know this dinner's for their
Kids. Thanks for watching them.
Where's the pizza?
The first ever Buick Encore GX. Right now, get $2,000 purchase allowance on the first ever Buick Encore GX.
Paul McKenna here at the Giant Crystal Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Truck Superstore in the Cathedral City Auto Center. We have hundreds of crystal clear deals waiting for you during our Drive Forward sales event, like this.
Drive away in a new Ram 1500 for $8,100 off MSRP. Or a new 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee for an incredible $309 a month.
Only at the Giant Crystal Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Truck Superstore in the Cathedral City Auto Center, or find us 24/7 at crystalchrysler.com.
Air conditioning gets expensive here in the desert, but by upgrading your equipment with Desert Air today, you can drastically lower your energy bills. New advanced systems are up to 60% more efficient, not to mention quieter and more effective. Take advantage of a special offer from Carrier. Turn to the experts. For a limited time, rebates of up to $1,650 or up to 60-month special financing on a qualifying Carrier home comfort system. Desert Air. Live comfortably.
Something new is here. Bigger. Safe. Better. Morongo. More restaurants. Playing it safe. New cocktail bars. More good times. Morongo. Better and safe. Good times.
This serious advice is brought to you by the Sevens. If you've been hit and hurt, get help from a board-certified expert at the Walter Clark Legal Group and get the no-fee guarantee.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 6.